All right, Hans Themistode, FightHype.com. Here with my guy, Coach Sosa, one of my most favorite people in the world. How you feeling, man?
All right, bro. Not rough 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm okay.
Definitely a rough 2 weeks, man. So, let's start off with Chris Colbert. Got knocked out, surprisingly, in the 6th round by Rayo. What were your thoughts in that first round? Chris got dropped, and then second and third he started coming back. Did it feel like deja vu from the first fight?
Actually, it did, bro. It definitely felt like the first fight. But I just think 135 might be just a little too big for Chris. So we were talking about maybe we're gonna be dropping to 130.
Is 130? Is there anybody there at 130 that Chris would want to fight? I know I spoke to him before. He's always been just like, no, I'm sticking at 35 unless I got like a title shot immediately or the Hector Garcia rematch. Do you think Chris now has to like build his way back up?
I think 30 will be the weight that we're gonna be aiming for. As far as fighters right now, hopefully, and no more lefties. Like I told you before, it's been like 6 lefties in a row. Hopefully, we'll get a right-handed guy, whoever it is. It don't matter, but hopefully, it'll be alrighty.
What do you think went wrong during the night, man?
A little bit on the losing the weight. We probably lost it the wrong way, and that definitely was a major issue. But that's boxing. You learn from it, and hopefully, it won't happen again.
Was it surprising to see the way Chris went down like that? He's always had a really good chin, even when he gets dropped. He's always got
obviously the shot that hit him wasn't even like a hard shot. It was like a sneaky shot. He didn't even see it because he was backing up with the hands low, and Rogers threw the shot. It wasn't even a hard shot. He just looped it, and he caught on top of the head, and that was it.
What do you think about Chris immediately after the fight just saying, you got it, run that back? 'Cause technically, they are 1-1. Like, is that something where you just like, I want Chris to go back down to 30, but they are 1-1?
Yeah, but like I said, the lefty part is sick. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the lefties. Hopefully we'll get 2 fights, and then maybe we could run it back again. But for now, we don't want Rayos right now. I don't want Rayos right now.
When you look at Rayo, immediately after the fight, I know I spoke to him, and he was just like, he really wants Tank now. Is that a fight where you just like...
Well, no disrespect to Rayo. He is a great fighter, but, I mean, he showed that once he can take you out, he's like an average fighter. And if you notice again, Biab was, after he got hurt pretty bad on the first round, and more or less, even with the weight loss and being weak and all that, he was starting to take charge of the fight again. But if it wasn't because of that, he definitely would have took over again. But and Rayos couldn't adapt to it. That shot was a sneaky shot. I don't know if he really wanted to throw that shot, but I mean, it was a sneaky shot. He caught him, and it was over. But besides that, if not, then Chris looked like he was going to do the same thing as last fight.
Was there any issues in the corner? I know that, if I'm not mistaken, I think like on one round it would be like you, another round it would be like Barry Hunter. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if there was like any arguing in the corner. Was there any issues in the corner?
No, there was no arguments. I was just like, like I told you when we spoke in private, that for this fight I really wasn't able to be with Chris 100% for the fight. So, we decided that maybe to look elsewhere for help, and they decided on the headbangers, Barry Hunter and Boogie did a great job with him. But since he was there 90% of the time, they were working on certain things, so I wanted to like even it out. 1 round me, 1 round Barry. So, no, as far as me and Barry arguing about stuff, no, we basically, both of us were on the same thing. No ropes, keep the fight in the middle. And that was it.
I remember at one point when Biab was a little bit younger, everybody was looking at him like he's the next one. He's going to be the next great fighter coming out of New York. Even like in 2020, I believe, I seen an old tweet from Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN guy. He was just like, look, I just watched this guy, Chris Colbert. He's like one of the most skilled fighters I've seen since Floyd Mayweather. And now you look at Chris, and now he has 2 losses on his record. Confidence might be a little down. Do you think he still has time to reach his potential, man?
Oh, definitely. But one of the hardest part about some of these boxes is that once the fame comes and everything comes easy, they tend not to do things as before. And Chris definitely has to go back to not being prime time, but being B-Hop. And listen, he has to listen a little more, stop being a little stubborn sometimes. But hey, that's boxers nowadays. You know what you're gonna do.
Is this the wake-up call? I know you didn't want to see your man lose at all, but is this like the wake-up call that can get Chris to, I don't know, I guess maybe listen more, maybe do things differently? Like, is this the wake-up call you think can shake him up?
I hope it does. I hope it does. This definitely was a big loss. It definitely took us back, at least 5 steps back. I mean, that put us back. So, I mean, we're definitely going to have to win another, say, 4 or 5 before we go back where we were supposed to be at. So hopefully it will be a wake-up call, because another loss, that'll be done for that.
Gotcha. Now, shifting gears, your boy, Big Baby Miller, he
You're
came
killing
in.
me, bro. But all right, no problem.
Big Baby Miller, man. He's used to coming into fights as a big guy, man. Came into the scale, jumped onto the scale at 333 pounds. In the past, that's never affected him in any type of way, man. Do you think the weight played a big part in his loss to Dubois?
I think it did. I think it did. The weight definitely it did play a big role on it.
When you look at Dubois, because I know you guys were confident. I spoke to you guys a lot. Like, we're going to stop him. We're going to make him quit. And we don't pay the bills here, but, you know, it's... There you go. Yeah, you know, you guys were just really confident, especially Jarrell, just saying, hey, I'm going to make him quit. Pressure's going to be too much. And that's typically what Jarrell does. He's not a one-punch knockout guy, but...
Yeah, he wears you down.
Exactly. Like, what do you think, like, went wrong outside of the weight? Was it something about Dubois?
No, it wasn't even... Well, it was a little bit of Dubois. He was moving a little more than what we thought he would be. But actually, the weight was an issue. And for some reason, the conditioning dropped. I believe it was after the 3rd round, 4th round, the conditioning just dropped.
Were you surprised that Big Baby didn't have his normal like punch output? He normally punches like 5 million punches a round, man. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I definitely was surprised. I guess he was a little bit worried about because of the weight, and he didn't want to, like they say, bust a nut in a round. So he was being careful with the punch output. But yeah, the weight was a major issue.
When you look at the actual stoppage, for me, on the outside looking in, it really looked like Jarrell was just extremely tired. I don't know. It looked like he was extremely tired. Maybe he was buzzed a little bit, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think he wasn't hurt. It was just he was exhausted. He was tired, and the punches that really were hitting him wasn't really like damaging punches. He was just exhausted, you know?
What do you think is an ideal step for Baby? Like, what do you think, like, an ideal weight you think for him to fight at?
A monster weight, I mean, 295, 300, he'll be a monster.
You know,
believe it or not, 33 pounds, 35 pounds, it does make a big difference. I mean, as far as footwork, speed, power, I mean, it makes a big difference. And I mean, if we could drop those 33 pounds, 35 pounds, it would be a totally different fighter.
You know, interestingly enough, I mean, the card was pretty much all heavyweights for the most part. 1 or 2 guys wasn't heavyweights, but you know, you got a guy like Deontay Wilder who also lost. Do you guys kind of look at him like, all right, we lost, you lost, both American, both gonna talk a lot of shit? That makes like a really ideal fight for us next.
I mean, that definitely be a good fight for us too. But I think we should. We were planning. Well, we got to speak, but I want to give him a little rest. I mean, maybe June, July, maybe. But I want to give him a little rest. Let the body heal. Then we go back at it, and hopefully this fight will be 300.
What do you think about Deontay's actual loss to Joseph Parker, man? Was that like surprising to you?
Actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't get to see the fight because after we had a little defeat, we ran back to the hotel and we had to get our stuff because I think our plane left early in the morning, so we had to get everything ready and then rush out to the airport. I didn't get to see the fight actually.
Gotcha.
But I heard it was almost a shutout, and Parker was taking it to him and wasn't afraid, and I guess that really surprised Wilder.
Yeah, on one judge, he actually had Deontay losing every single round. So, I actually spoke to Malik Scott yesterday. He said he wasn't sure. He said that Deontay just couldn't pull the trigger. It could be father time because Deontay's 38 now. Deontay's also, kind of does things his own way. What do you kind of think could be the issue with Deontay? You think it could be age or inactivity?
I think he might be right. It might be the age. It might be the fighter. Sometimes the fighter thinks he knows it all. And at the same time, the age catches up to everybody.
Gotcha. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
No problem.